la frontera de la imaginación todo es posible. Las ideas generan desarrollo y oportunidades infinitas. Con ideas podemos reforestar desiertos. Podemos recuperar nuestra ciudad transformando los espacios con creatividad y darnos cuenta que las más altas tecnologías no solo están del otro lado, también están del nuestro, como están los sabores y sazones que están abriendo el gusto y los sentidos de todo el que cruza por aquí. Porque aquí es el lugar donde todo empieza. Empieza nuestro país, empieza nuestro idioma y aquí empieza la moda. Y empieza el cine y las historias de los que se quedaron y sí la contaron. Y también la compusieron y la cantaron. Porque en el borde de la imaginación y de nuestro país todo adquiere sentido, coherencia y trascendencia. Aquí, en la frontera de lo posible. Industrias creativas, sorprendentes, trascendentes. Tijuana Innovadora 2016 Creativa.
¡Oh yeah! ¡Ahora o nunca! Las ideas generan desarrollo y oportunidades infinitas. Las industrias creativas sorprendentes, trascendentes, cine, música, gastronomía, diseño, cosplay, multimedia, arquitectura, moda, videojuegos, tecnología, youtubers, sustentabilidad. Tijuana Innovadora 2016, Creativa. Del 3 al 10 de noviembre, World Trade Center y Museo Interactivo El Trompo. Ven, escucha y vive una experiencia creativa con Alfonso Arao, Adriana Barraza, José Ángel Gurría, Enrique Graue, Brad Lancaster, Ana Fusoni, Chumel Torres, Sara Topelson, Rica Muranaka, Amat Escalante, Sergio Aragonés y más. Industrias creativas, una oportunidad infinita. Venta de boletos tijuanainnovadora.com en Taquilla Express. Síguenos a través de nuestras redes. ¡Oh yeah!
Bueno, ahora sí ya se oye. Muy buenas noches, como pueden ver estamos cerrando con broche de oro la jornada del día de hoy y de hecho cerramos las actividades del bloque C Creativo, donde hemos disfrutado de una serie de personajes que han compartido sus experiencias con nuestro público. Y ha llegado el momento de presentarles a nuestro conferencista magistral. Él es Richard Davis, su cargo es Global Head of Corporate Alliance, nada menos que de Cirque du Soleil. Soleil es una compañía canadiense de entretenimiento fundada en 1984, la cual se describe a sí misma como un montaje dramático de artes circenses y esparcimiento callejero. La empresa ha montado más de 40 espectáculos a lo largo de su historia, habiéndose presentado de manera exitosa alrededor del mundo. Su conferencia se titula Lucía, México inspirando al Cirque du Soleil. Pero antes, quisiera presentarles a Jorge Gamboa, director de la Oficina del Consejo de Promoción Turística de Los Ángeles.
Muchas gracias. Muy buenas noches, ¿cómo están? Vamos a darles un gran aplauso a estos dos grandes artistas de Cirque du Soleil, pero muy fuerte abrazo. Sobre todo porque Cirque du Soleil es lo que hace, ponernos el corazón contento, alegrarnos la vida por un momento, hacernos olvidar lo que padecemos o lo que no, pero lo más importante es que tienen esa chispa, esa creatividad que solamente Cirque du Soleil a través del mundo lo ha hecho. ¿Cierto o no? Bueno, voy a cambiar a inglés. Yo quisiera hablar maya porque yo soy yucateco, pero me dijeron que no, que solamente en inglés. Entonces voy a cambiar el ritmo de estructura, les voy a leer rápidamente, antes de eso un video que vamos a presentar, pero unas pocas palabras de qué es lo que tiene México ahorita con Estados Unidos en el aspecto de turismo. Así que corra video, pongan mucha atención y ayúdennos a promoverlo, por favor.
Mexico is a modern and competitive country. Over the past 3 years, we've implemented an ambitious set of reforms to spur economic growth. These reforms are transforming energy, telecommunications, and education in Mexico. With a GDP of $1.3 trillion, Mexico is the second largest economy in Latin America and the 15th worldwide. Mexico is an open economy. Our network of free trade agreements guarantees access to international markets for Mexican companies and for international producers manufacturing in Mexico. High-quality education provides Mexicans with a strong foundation to develop the higher skills needed in a global economy. Mexican universities graduate more engineers than Germany, Canada, or even Brazil, which has nearly twice the population of Mexico. Thanks to our economic stability, the size and strength of our domestic market, and our advanced manufacturing capabilities, Mexico represents a profitable market for countries and companies around the world. The economic ties between the United States and Mexico are strong and have proven to be profitable for both countries. Did you know that the United States exports $270 billion each year to Mexico in goods and services? Mexico is the second largest buyer of U.S. exports in the world, and Mexico is the first or second largest trading partner for 28 U.S. states. Trade with Mexico directly sustains more than 6 million American jobs, and the U.S. benefits more from importing with Mexico than from any other country. On average, imports to the United States from Mexico have 40% of their components originally made in the USA, more than any other country. Mexico and the United States do not just trade among themselves. Our countries are building high-end products together. From automobiles that cross 8 times across our border in the process of production, to smartphones and computers. From beer to state-of-the-art Learjets. Mexico is a highly profitable market for U.S. companies like Walmart, American Airlines, Citigroup, and General Electric. Mexican companies are also actively investing in the U.S., creating thousands of jobs across the country within a range of sectors. Bimbo, the world's largest bread producer, employs over 22,000 workers in the U.S. and owns brands like Sara Lee, Oro Wheat, Boboli Pizza Crust, and Thomas English Muffins. Mexico's Sigma Foods sells American-made products such as hot dogs and lunch meat under the Bar S and food labels. Mexico is widely known as a destination for U.S. travelers. Rich in history, tradition, and culture, Mexico is home to the 6th highest number of World Heritage Sites. Mexico City is a treasure in itself, recently rated by the New York Times as the #1 destination to visit in 2016. It is the city with the 2nd most museums in the world and home to 3 of the world's 50 best restaurants. But the U.S. tourism industry also benefits from Mexico. 17 million Mexicans travel to the U.S. each year, spending $18.7 billion. The fact is, our economies are increasingly integrated. The U.S.-Mexico partnership is critical to the future prosperity of both nations.
¡Bravo! ¡Bravo! Necesitamos su ayuda, ¿ok? Que pongan esto en sus redes sociales, que le dejen saber a todos sus amigos a través del mundo lo que México ofrece and what we do in our country, ¿ok? Are you promised to help us out? Yes. Okay, that is great. It is a great privilege and honor to be around here in this wonderful occasion that we are going to celebrate today, the joint ventures between Cirque du Soleil Lucia and the Mexico Tourism Board. As all we know, Cirque du Soleil is an outstanding company with millions of followers that ravage each year and every show the lights, the color, the music, and the performance, como lo acabamos de ver, son extraordinarios. Lucia is a walking dream of Mexico, with fuel of exponential growth in Mexico and the numbers of visitors in all different areas of our country. And I will take this opportunity to please, once that you know everything about Lucia, to share it with your people, to share it with your friends, and to make very strong this kind of promotion, okay? This is a unique project. And under the leadership of the Mexico Minister of Tourism, Enrique de la Madrid, and the CEO of the Mexico Tourism Board, Lourdes Veró, I would like to remark some shares that we are doing right now in the industry. This coming year, Mexico will reach once again a record year in numbers of international arrivals. As of today, we are 9% ahead versus last year period, which means that we are going to conclude this year with amount of 35 million international visitors. This is very easy to say, but it's very hard to achieve. Is that right, Mr. Minister of Tourism here? Mr. Escobedo, is that true or not? Easy to say, very hard to achieve, the number of visitors that Mexico is having. And you know why? Because we are all together joined in promoting our country, promoting every region, trying to do our best in order to let the international travelers what Mexico offers. Okay? Right now we are substantially going to increase the number of inland Mexican traveling in the different regions with a program that the Minister of Tourism put together que se llama Viajemos Todos por México. Seguramente lo han oído, right? ¿Sí? Okay. Another of the ambitious goals is going to climb to the 8th place of the World Travel Organization as one of the most visited countries in the world. Mexico is ranked right now in the 9th place. So what we want to do is to do one step up and to go to the 8th place. Remember that Mexico is the 3rd largest trade and economical partner of the USA. Imports over total $295 billion in 2015, generating more than 6 million jobs. Tijuana and the whole state of Baja California plays a very important role in this economical impact. The great region of Cali Baja is NAFTA main corridor for movements of goods, products, and mainly attributed to the auto and electronic industry. And Tijuana, right now, everybody knows, I'm pretty sure, you have the first binational airport between Mexico and USA, the CBX. And you have to use it because it's less expensive. And you have to use it because from Tijuana you can travel all over Mexico and to discover what we offer in the different states and destinations, of course. And this is a combined population among 6.5 million Cali Baja, which will boost the concentration of the travelers. So, better to do and to take the opportunity to travel all over our country. I want to congratulate the Tijuana Innovadora, which is an incredible place and summit to show in different areas, in the commerce, in the tourism, in the culture, in the art, everything that you are doing for a country. And whoever has this incredible idea, I believe that already paid off. Is that right or not? Were you the creator? Many, many times. I know it's binational. I mean, it's every other year that you do Tijuana Innovadora. And I personally want to congratulate and to appreciate all the volunteers that are around here. You young people are doing an incredible job. Yep. Yep. You are doing an incredible job, and you are putting your heart for defending Tijuana, defending Baja California. Okay, well, last but not least, you came here to see Cirque du Soleil, Lucia Cirque du Soleil, and for that reason, we have the presentation of an incredible promoter of Mexico, Richard Davis, which is going to explain in details all the culture, all the history, all the things that Mexico offers through the Cirque du Soleil. Okay, so Richard, where are you? Ricardito. Okay, probably he's lost. Okay, wait. Oh, there he is. Come on. Rich, I just want to appreciate all the effort, all the heart, all the input that you've been doing for Mexico and to bring Cirque du Soleil all over the world. It is an extraordinary opportunity for my country. So, thank you very much. And to all of you, God bless. Dios los bendiga a todos ustedes. Y arriba Tijuana.
So, thank you, Jorge. I am here to talk about Cirque du Soleil and our beautiful collaboration with Mexico, your beautiful country. But before I start, I'd just like to say thank you to Jose and Claudia for their hospitality. I've had 2 wonderful days in Tijuana. The great joy of working with Cirque du Soleil is that you see the world. The downside is that in 6 months, I've taken 46 flights already, and I've been to 13 countries. But today, I had a beautiful experience. I went to the cultural center. I saw some wonderful things. I walked down the Avenue of Revolution. I went to Caesar's Hotel, had the Caesar salad, as you'd expect. And I've had a wonderful time. So in my job, I don't often have time to take out to enjoy a city. And the one thing that has struck me above anything else about Tijuana is the warmth of the reception that I have received. From people in the market. I went to the market, and there was a guy there called Gilberto who explained to me all the spices and everything that went on, and he spoke to me for 10-15 minutes. I went outside, walked to the street. There was a guy called Carlos and a guy called Max. These are my new friends, obviously, and they were incredibly welcoming. So I appreciate your kindness and your warmth. And then two final thank yous. I was very kindly given a guide or a hostess here today and yesterday. And I'd like to say thank you to Gabby and her daughter, Paulina, who has also looked after me and my team. And I want to say a personal thank you to them. So, let's now just talk about the collaboration between my business, Cirque du Soleil, and the Mexican Tourist Board. So, the question that I asked some people yesterday was, what does it mean to be a Mexican? What is important for you? What does it mean? And I heard many things. People were very proud to be Mexican, and you should be proud to be Mexican. Some people were a bit sad that you possibly had to leave the country to do other things, maybe find a better life. But the most important thing that I heard was Mexico is a resilient country. It's a strong country, and you've been through a lot. You have a fantastic history. I was lucky enough to go to university back in the UK, and I studied history. And one of the countries I studied happened to be Mexico. So I'm very aware of your culture and your history. And I think out of resilience often comes creativity. And I think you are an incredibly creative nation. And we at Cirque du Soleil, creativity is in our bones, is in our blood, and is what brings joy to people around the world. So what you really want to see is some beautiful Cirque du Soleil. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background, a brief video on introduction to Cirque du Soleil. can't speak now because my cue doesn't work. Sorry. So, if someone could just fix the cue, that would be great. So, just briefly, you'll see that I'm no athlete, and you can also see by the way that I dress, I'm also not very creative. But I do work in a fantastic business, and this business was started in 1984 in Canada by Guy Laliberté and 2 or 3 of his best friends. And like all good businesses, he decided to get together and say, let's do something fun that we really enjoy. Let's do something that can help us travel the world. And let's do something that helps to pay for that. And if we do that, we'll be happy. So that was in 1984. And from 1984 till now, it started with 16 people, and we now employ 4,000 people around the world, and 1,300 of those are artists from 50 countries. So we are the United Nations of creativity, right? We employ more Olympic athletes than anyone else, and the reason we do that is we want high performance and creativity to sit together. And I think when you see the shows, you'll see how spectacular they are, and that's because we choose the very, very best. We also, our attention to detail in creativity, we have our own wardrobe operation and in Montreal in a big studio. We design our own wigs, and every single hair on a wig of our artists is put in by one stitch. And the reason we have to do that is because the artists perform at such a high level that they sweat and they need to ventilate. So we have a staff in Montreal who sit there and they sew and they sew and they sew. And it's the attention to detail at Cirque du Soleil that I think produces these magnificent shows that you get to see. We're a very strange business. We have residential shows, which shows if any of you have been to Vegas. You've probably seen a Cirque du Soleil show. We have 7 shows in Vegas. We have touring shows, when you may have seen the Big Top, the Chapiteau as we call it. And then we have arena shows. So in a big arena, we'll go in and we'll do 3 or 4 days in an arena. But we also have an opportunity to work with intellectual property. Intellectual property is IP, is music, is film, it's sports rights holders. I'll talk a little bit later. We have a relationship with the NFL. And the reason we have all these relationships is because people want to use our creative services and our imagination and our sense of humor. We don't take life too seriously. We saw the video before about Mexico and some great numbers about what you're doing in tourism. But people want to engage. They don't want to hear facts and things. They want to engage. And we engage people. We're about live entertainment. But we're also about business. Because Woody Allen said, it's called show business, not show, because that sounds silly, right? So we try, everything that we do is very creative, but we try not to let the business pollute the creativity. So I would like to talk to you now about 3 of our potential collaborations. It's not working, but I'm doing it all from memory. It's good, huh?
It's already on, maybe.
No, you're on the wrong page, man. See, I was doing fine without you. Okay, thank you very much. So, one of our collaborations, there's a group called Soda Stereo. I don't know if any of you are aware of Soda Stereo. Most of you probably are. Big band in Latin America, and I think they've sold something like 7 million albums. Their 2007 tour was the most successful tour of any Spanish-speaking band in the world. And they came to us 2 years ago. I think the lead singer, you guys will probably know this, right? So excuse me if I've got this wrong. The lead singer had passed away, and the fans and the existing band members wanted to pay tribute to the great time they had together and to the music. So we spent 2 years collaborating with them, and we now have this tour, Septimo Demo, which starts March next year. It starts obviously in Argentina, the home of the band, and it travels all the way across Latin America. It has already sold out. And for the first time, Cirque du Soleil spoke to the fans and said, we'd like you to be involved. What music would you like us to play? What things would you like us to do? And how can we work together? So we're trying to evolve as a business. We're not just sitting here thinking we have all the answers. We want to engage with our audience, and Soda Stereo is a good example of that. We also work in the movie business. So we have a relationship, a collaboration with James Cameron. And when I came here, I think I was here yesterday, every time we make these, I stand up and try and do a speech. I'm told I need to practice, so I come here the day before. And on my notes, which I have in front of me, they said that James Cameron had produced the second highest grossing movie of all time. $2.7 billion for Avatar. It's actually the number one grossing movie of all time. He also produced the second highest grossing movie of all time, which was, you're too good, right? You're too good. Titanic. He came to us and he said that he would like to collaborate on Avatar, and he would like Cirque du Soleil to show the world, and in a big arena, his film. So we worked with him, and we've toured that successfully in the last 3 or 4 years, and the show is soon to be going into China, which is going to be a big market for us. So another music collaboration, I've got two other collaborations to talk to you about music, possibly two people you have heard of. The first person was described to me as the king of pop. Who is the king of pop? Again, you're too good, right? You're too good. I thought it might have been Elvis Presley, but that's because I'm old, right? So my bad. So yes, Michael Jackson. So we had a successful collaboration with Michael Jackson's estate. So obviously, having to work with them and to agree how we could celebrate his music and particularly his lifestyle and his dance and everything else like that. So we had a touring show with Michael Jackson, and we have a very successful Vegas residential show, which you must go and see. It's a fantastic show. And lastly, but for me not least, is that the Beatles were presented. I don't forget the number now. It was over 125 opportunities to work with many organizations, particularly Cirque du Soleil. They chose Cirque du Soleil, and they wanted us to represent their music and to provide a story about 1960s in London, right? So in those days, it looked like it was a lot of fun, and if you go and see our show, you will feel the pace and the excitement and the sense of opportunity when you go and see that show. And the music is fantastic. It's a different setting. We play around with venues and settings all the time, and I think those three are perhaps the best examples of the collaborations we've been through in the last 2 or 3 years. So what I'd like to do is just show you a little bit of a video which gives you a montage of all those three examples. Thank you. Thank you.
Michael. Estéreo, Cirque du Soleil, séptimo día.
Solo Dios sabe qué es el séptimo.
Entradas en venta en areaticket.com.ar.
No descansaré.
So that's a little bit about Cirque du Soleil, a little bit of background on what we do. And the reason that I wanted you to see the relationships that we have and the collaborations that we have is it's because you are now in that same partnership with us in the same way that we partnership with those great musicians and those great film directors. So we now have a collaboration with Mexico. And like most relationships, this relationship was born out of a fantastic friendship. We've been coming to Mexico since 2002. So a long time ago, and since then we've performed about 9 shows. And I think in total it's about 2 million fans or spectators or guests have turned up to our shows. In 2014, we entered into a partnership with Grupo Vedanta, and we created a different show for us, which is a dinner show. So you get to go to the show, you have dinner, unusual setting, and then you have a Cirque du Soleil show, obviously throughout the whole of the evening in the Riviera Maya district. It's it's just another immersive live experience that's completely different. And a lot of people go to that outside of Mexico. They come and travel especially for that show, and then obviously enjoy a whole day afterwards. So that relationship with Vedanta has now also turned into theme parks. So very early on I said to you we do lots of different stuff. We work with different people. Well, we're now in the theme park business too. So we are now collaborating on theme parks. My responsibility at Cirque du Soleil is also we have a licensing division. So we have relationships with clothing companies. We have relationships with, in fact, we're talking to a number of hotels at the moment and nightclubs, and on it goes. So you'll understand why it's such a great business to be in. Whoops, there we go. But what I'd like to speak about now is about our collaboration on Lucia. So the essence of what we were trying to achieve was to provide an insight into this beautiful country of yours. And it's very, very hard. It's a very difficult thing to do when someone says, right, show my country to the world, engage with people, and make it interesting. It's very, very difficult. What made it easy for us is that you have this fantastic, rich culture, and you have lots to talk about. So what we try to do is we try to look at integrating and collaborating with Mexico as much as we can. And you will notice, hopefully, when you go and see the show, if you have the opportunity, that we have a local group, the Nautic Collective, which I hope for some of you will know. They were very instrumental in helping with the soundtrack, making it much more contemporary and techno. Which obviously is beyond me. I'm too old for that, but it really is a fantastic soundtrack, and that's come from the guys here in Tijuana. Eugenio Caballero, who you'll know, is an Oscar winner, set designer. He is the set designer on Lucia. So we have the very best that your country has produced in set design, and he has produced the set for the show. You will see a little bit later in a video some of the images of the set, and there's 2 in particular which I'll talk about, which is one is a rain curtain, and one is a treadmill. All his ideas, and at the heart of what we do are these collaborations, and he's been fantastic to work with. We also have a group in Mexico City who are helping the Flaminguettes, who are helping us with marketing the show around the world, and it's been a fantastic collaboration. So we're working well together. We're really happy with the show. The show's been a huge success in Montreal, and it's now traveling into the US. I think in San Francisco in 2 weeks' time we're going to launch with a premiere there. So let me just talk now about the inspiration behind the show. We looked at the creative brief, if you like, and we thought that there is not one Mexico, right? There are many Mexicos. It's a complex, diverse world, and Mexico has huge history. So you go back as far as the Olmec society, and you go all the way through the Mayans. You got the Aztecs. I remember hearing about Cortez. You got the 1910 revolution. And how do you get all that across in a creative theme? So we took out from that we took out from that three key themes that we think are sort of we've tied all the creativity to, and one of those is speed. And the reason that we've taken speed is about moving forward. It's about motion. You're a country that has moved forward. You're a country that has evolved, and you are a country that is progressing. And in a very simple form, which helps me, I'm a simple man, you can see it on stage in the form of a treadmill. We have this running woman, and the genesis of that, the premise for that, was the Tarahumara people. I got that right? So and there, I remember reading something just before I came here, actually, in National Geographic, which is talking about the Tarahumara people, saying they had survived an invasion from the Spanish, and now they're trying to survive in a modern world, right? Their challenge is different now. And as a country, I think you're facing many challenges, but I think the notion of moving forward and progressing is something that you'll see it's embedded actually in the show. And the other thing that became clear to us is mythology, ancestry, monuments, right? Your country is full of these beautiful testimonies to the past. And there's a place in particular that we reference, which I've struggled with the word for the last 2 days, and I'll attempt to get right today, which is Teotihuacana. You've no idea how happy I am to get that, right? There was someone here, they'd be high-fiving me. And that was our source of inspiration, which is all those great monuments, the big past. How do we get that as a central theme? And then the final one, which is rain and water. A few years ago, I had a business in Africa, and I was sitting down with my team of people, and I said, we need to find a name for this business. And I had some local people working for me, and one guy said, I have a name for you. And I said, what's that? He said, Maru. I said, what does Maru mean in your local dialect? And he said, it's a cloud. So it's a cloud. I said, why am I going to call my business after a cloud? It's going to rain. And he said, in African culture, rain is so important. It's bringer of prosperity. It's bringer of wealth. It's fertility. And I think rain is something that you'll see in the show with this beautiful rain curtain, which is at the very cutting edge of technology. We can actually print on the rain curtain, and you'll get a real idea of how clever it is. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a highlight of that now, so you get an idea of what it looks like. So what you didn't see there was the rain curtain, my mistake. So that was the previous video, so apologies for that. So the final bit now is just to talk about the actual collaboration in its broadest context. So why are we collaborating with you? We think it's a great global platform for Mexico. We think it's a great opportunity for you and your country to be seen by millions of people around the world. This show will go to 40 cities. It'll be watched by over 5 million people. It includes 2,000 performances, and it's going to be going on for 7 years. So, I think that's something that you should be very proud of. We're very proud of the show, but I think it's something that when you see it, I think we've been very authentic and honest to the objectives that we had with the show, and we've noticed that when we've after the show, we've had surveys from people going out, and we've just said, listen, you've enjoyed the show. Has it changed your perception of Mexico at all? Would you fly to Mexico? Would you go there? And we've had a fantastic response from all the surveys that we've undertaken. So that's enough from me. I'm going to show you one more video because they're much more interesting than I am. And then after that, if you'd like, I'm more than happy to answer any questions. I can't guarantee to get them all right, but I'll do my very best. So we're just going to show you one more little video. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Marshall Spratt, and I'm the Assistant Technical Director of Luzi. Well, the treadmills, I think, are unique to entertainment so far because we're actually using industrial-scale mining equipment. These things are heavy, they are intense, they are robust, and it's taken a lot of work to get them where they are now. Because the turntable can move in 2 directions at the same time, we have to be pretty diligent. Floor's got to be right, then the first treadmill has to be facing the right way, then the second treadmill has to be facing the right way. From there, we actually test them every show to make sure that the signal we're sending is the action that we expect. Once those steps are done, we're show ready. And once the guys really got a grip of the apparatus, the conceptors started messing with timing and direction. Once we put all that together and then spin it on a turntable, you end up with something quite dynamic. The rain curtain is obviously a bit of a featured character in the show, and that means it requires a lot of attention on our side. We have a 3,500 liter tank upstage of the artistic tent and a truck. We have a 3,000 liter pool in the stage, and we have all the plumbing and hosing that connects those 2 systems. In addition, we have the rain truss, which lives in the grid. Poses its own set of challenges, but it's integrated fully with the pool and the tank. Hopefully, the water is always warm enough for the artists, but we hover somewhere in the middle at about 39 degrees. The water that we introduce to the system we reclaim through the stage. We pump it back to the truck, where it's filtered and cleaned and used again in the next show. One line at a time, all the way across the truss. A valve is either opening or closing. When you line all of those things up, you have deer and trees and flowers. The first time we saw the audience react to the rain truss, I was really surprised at the impact it had. It felt like a gimmick to me until I saw 3,000 people sort of glow and smile, and it becomes a surprise to them. The amount of work it takes to get 3,000 people to feel like that we'll do that all day.
I've actually got one more video, I realize now, because this is why you're here, right? You're here to see the Lucia video. Just so you know, I'm actually reading in Spanish and a different language. I've got 3 languages going on here, so apologies for this slightly stilted speech. So if we're okay, I'd just like to show you the final video, and this is the show, right? So this is what we've been working hard at doing. For every show takes 2 years, so we're in labor for 2 years, and I hope you enjoy the show. So what a great place to go to work, huh? Fantastic. I'll just going to finish on one point. We're in a very strange world now. We're in a world where communication and the way people communicate and how people communicate is changing so fast. What we do at Cirque du Soleil is the same every single time. We try and produce a live experience that touches you, that you remember and that you carry with you. And I think that's why this relationship has been so successful. Even though we have another 5 years to go, I'm sure it's going to get even more successful. We honestly believe that with the power of creativity and imagination, it's something that will stay with you for a very, very long time. And in a world where we are all on a very small screen, we saw recently a political election was just controlled on social media. We firmly believe that no matter how much that advances, the ability to bring people into a live theater and to entertain them is something that will go on for many, many years. Thank you very much. So now the fun part, you get to ask me anything about Cirque du Soleil. Here we are.
I know.
Very good.
I want to appreciate, I want to thank you on behalf of the Mexico Tourism Board for bringing Mexico into the Cirque du Soleil. And I have two questions. Oh, thank you. First of all, the first one is going to be we are very proud that the Tijuana group, musical group, made the music, and we're so proud and we congratulate them. But how many actors or actresses have you had in your Cirque du Soleil in the history?
In the show itself, we have 4 Mexican actors, and all obviously, or not including the collaborations that we do with the technical staff as well. So we actually have four in the show. For us, the important thing is not necessarily about the people in the show; it's the collaboration. We want to get the story right. We want to listen to people that understand your country, and hopefully we've got that balance right. There's a few hands, which is good.
Good night. It was really inspirational, your words, and it's very, very great to hear how really are doing you like a very great business about creativity. But as entrepreneurs, I want to know and I want to hear your opinion about of how do you feel about in our countries it's not too enough appealing invest in creativity. Like there is not that mindset about understanding what is the potential of the creativity industries, and for that reason I want to know like what do you see about of the future? How we can push like the society, the investors, the public sector for invest more in creativity because as entrepreneur I feel that there is not enough appealing right now in countries as Mexico. I am not from Mexico. I am from Colombia, but I think that I want to hear like your advices too about of how we can perform better in investing in culture and in creativity.
Right. Well, so first of all, I can't speak for your country, right? It's not my. I can talk for Cirque du Soleil, and what I have to say is that the marketing support and the investment in helping promote this story has been considerable around the world. I would also have to say that you are very successful creatively. I remember I read something recently when I was looking at Eugenio Caballero's history and the success that he's had. And finding out, I think in 2007 you had 8 people nominated for an Academy Award. Eight people, and then we have found the collaboration, not just creatively but artistically, is there. You have this. You have the skills here. You definitely have the creativity. You have an Oscar-winning producer for The Revenant, Alejandro, and also Pan. I think also. What else did he do? He did 2 very good movies. He did Beautiful. So it's all here. How you invest and bring and how you attract that is difficult, right? It's difficult in every single country. I faced that when I was living and working in the UK, and I think all you can do is push and push and push, and you push creatively, and the more you push creatively, the more you will appeal to people, and the more chance you have of achieving investment. It's very hard for a government, I think, because everyone wants money, right? My project's better than your project's better than her, and why not mine, why not me, why not me? I think if you're a young creative guy that wants to get into the industry, my advice to you would be do it. Don't listen to anybody else, just go and do it. In 1984, a guy from Canada went to Las Vegas and said, "You think you know circus? I'll show you circus." Right? No animals. Are you crazy? No animals. And we're still here now, and I'm talking about Cirque du Soleil. So my advice is, have a go.
Creo que acabamos de pasar un momento bastante divertido y agradable. Nos han dado muy buenas noticias. Hemos conocido una forma de creatividad muy interesante, nada más y nada menos que por una de los, ¿qué podríamos decir? Agrupaciones, asociaciones más interesantes como son el Cirque du Soleil, pero ahora presentando una imagen, una perspectiva de México. Tenemos el reconocimiento para nuestro conferencista. We really appreciate what you just shared with us, and we have a little token of appreciation for you and for our hummingbird and lizard eye thing. Yeah, I would like to know what you are. I just can see a lizard eye or something. We're going to ask José Galicot Bejar, Claudia Basurto, from the committee of Tijuana Innovadora. They have this little token of appreciation for you.
Thank you. And I'm going to talk in English, if you don't mind.
Thank you for me, right?
So, yeah, exactly. And as Richard said, this is an effort of a team. Tijuana Innovadora, the success of Tijuana Innovadora is because we are a team. And we would like to invite Oscar Escobedo from Tourism Board, José Luis Rangel, of course, and Jorge Gamboa. Please join us because you guys believe in this effort from the beginning. So please join us, and we are the team that could do this with Cirque du Soleil. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Amigos, terminamos una etapa, mañana continuamos. Tijuana Innovadora tiene mucho que decir. Tenemos mañana en la mañana a un personaje increíble. Imagínense el momento político que está el mundo y Estados Unidos. Tenemos a Alan Bersin, el jefe de la seguridad de Estados Unidos. Tenemos también en la tardecita a uno de los grandes hombres de Europa que nos va a dar una visión, que se llama José Ángel Gurría. Todo el día tenemos actividades. El día de mañana está dedicado a lo que ellos hacen, a lo verde, a la imaginación verde, a cómo cuidar esta tierra que es nuestra. El otro día oí a un personaje que me dijo, no te preocupes por la tierra no le va a pasar nada. Si no la cuidamos, nosotros no vamos a estar aquí, pero yo en la tierra, aquí va a estar. Tenemos que cuidarla y eso es muy importante. It's very important to take care of nature. Otra cosa importante, Tijuana Innovadora empezó con 4 proyectos. El primero era el orgullo de Tijuana, el segundo, crear una situación de emoción para la ciudad, to be proud to be of this city. The second thing is that we are neighbor of San Diego and we didn't talk each other. So what we changed is that we talk and we love each other, San Diego and Tijuana. Hemos logrado que Tijuana y San Diego se quieran. The third one is that from every 4 Mexicans, one live in the States, and we don't reach them, we don't talk to them, we don't protect them, so we have to do something, and they send $25 billion a year to Mexico, and we don't give them too much to them. Nos preocupamos mucho por los mexicanos que viven en Estados Unidos, que son nuestros hermanos, que 1 de cada 4 vive allá, y este mexicano requiere esta amistad y México la necesita más. Y hoy día, todos ellos nos ayudaron a inyectarle a Tijuana un virus que quiero que tenga, el virus de la imaginación, de la creatividad, del esfuerzo, de extraordinaria capacidad que tiene nuestra ciudad para ser la mejor ciudad de México. Y vamos a trabajar duro y entonces me tienen que ayudar, perdonen que les haga esto, les voy a enseñar una canción de 2 palabras. I'm going to teach them a song of 2 words, all right? Tenemos que decir quedito, quedito, primero óiganlo bien, les va a costar mucho trabajo, toma muchas horas aprenderla. Vamos a decir, oh, sí, pero cantadito, oh, sí, ayúdenme.
Oh, sí.
No, ahora fuerte, todos juntos 3 veces. 1, 2, 3. Oh, sí. Oh, sí. Oh, sí. Dame una medallita. Mi amigo Jack Wiener decidió, you don't need another cardboard or another plaque, because you may have some in your...
As a former
no
athlete.
necesitan otra placa, no necesitan otro diploma. Entonces Jack Wiener decidió cambiar la forma. We change the way that we praise people. We also do things like creativity, different. So we did this. This is a medallion, that es un medallón que gira y dice en latín, y sin embargo se mueve. A plus se move in Latin. De todos modos, we move things and we do things. Cuidamos a nuestra ciudad, la amamos y la vamos a transformar, pese a que nos encanta. Y vamos a ir otra vez, sí, para que me divierta yo. 1, 2, 3. ¡Oh, sí! ¡Oh, sí! ¡Oh, sí!
Sí.
Okay.
Entonces vamos a entregar su medalla.
No, usted vaya. Amigos, vénganse. Mañana estaremos aquí a las 9, igual, trabajando como siempre, con entusiasmo. Ya me lo acabamos, pero qué bárbaro, qué jornada, qué maravilla, qué día. Thank you.
So can I just say 2 things? We are in a digital age, so if you would like a picture taken with the 2 star performers here tonight, they're over at the Lucia banner. They will be over there very shortly. And the last thing I'd like to say is thank you for inviting me to your country. Thank you very much.
También habla español. Sí, sí, claro, vámonos a la foto. Aquí está, en la foto. Ahí está en la parte de atrás del banner, ahí las va a esperar los artistas para tomarse la fotografía. Solo hagan una pequeña línea, todos vamos a poder tomarnos la foto.